In other news that we're tracking for you this Thursday, it is the final day of the Africa Energy Indaba in Cape Town. Over the last 2 days, industry leaders have unpacked how to move the just transition strategy into action. So let's talk more action. Our business reporter, Ntokozo Khumalo, spoke to the CEO of the Southern African Nuclear Corporation. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
The case of nuclear as an alternative energy source once again was a hot talking point at this year's Africa Energy Indaba, with the country still grappling with load shedding. And to give us some insights, I am now joined by the Group CEO of the South African Nuclear Energy Corporation, and that's Loyiso. Tyabashe, thank you so much for talking to us. Now, of course, South Africa being the only country on the continent with nuclear plants, and the conversation has been around it as an energy source. But talk us through what NESCA does with nuclear.
NESCA is a nuclear company which is actually given a mandate to do nuclear research and also focus on other nuclear-related activities such as beneficiation of nuclear materials. As it pertains to nuclear power, you are quite correct. The only two commercially operating nuclear power plants are here in South Africa, operated by Eskom at the Koeberg nuclear plant, just about 35 kilometers from here, Cape Town. However, we are seeing that there is more interest in the nuclear space, where in countries like Egypt are currently building 4 nuclear units, and we hope those will be coming online in the next couple of years. The world at large as well is actually continuing to build. Right around the world today, we have about 58 nuclear plants that are under construction, which will be coming online. That will add to the already existing fleet of about 420 nuclear power units around the world. The leading country being the USA, with close to about 100. France is the following one, China and India are following. So it is indeed a very growing technology in terms of providing reliable and safe electricity.
But now, Loyiso, mentioning the US, Minister Mantashe highlighted that South Africa, has those rich deposits of uranium, and we should be allowed to exploit them fully. What is then the issues with South Africa really using that fully to develop our power?
I actually don't believe that there is any contention. South Africa is a signatory to the International Atomic Energy Agency, whose sole mandate is to make sure that nuclear is used for peaceful purposes around the world. As signatories and co-founders of the International Atomic Energy Agency, South Africa has decided and has mandated itself through acts and legislations that will do the beneficiation of nuclear material for peaceful purposes. I can state that at some point NEXA used to make nuclear fuel for the Koeberg power station, used to make nuclear fuel for the reactor in Pelindaba that we operate as NEXA. Those activities were stopped, but we are on the process of restarting them because it is important to be self-sufficient in this sphere in terms of fuel supply. But as you look at it, if you break it into 3 phases, the first phase is to make sure that you beneficiate the material before you can put it in the reactor. The second phase is when you operate the reactor. Both Eskom and us are operating nuclear reactors. And then the latter part is where you dispose of the nuclear material, the nuclear waste.
And Loyiso, just the potential outside of energy that nuclear has on the medical side. Give us some insights there.
Great. And I think nuclear tends to be only associated with electricity generation. But what we do at NEXA, we are producing isotopes, selling them quite profitably into the global market. And these isotopes are used for cancer detection and cancer therapy. So very many products in the form of molybdenum, in the form of iodine, lutetium, and others to treat many types of cancers. So this is a new and novel way of treating cancer and detecting cancer. And as you might know, that the World Health Organization has indicated that the lifestyle kind of diseases like cancer will continue to grow in the next couple of years and decades. And it is crucial that easier forms of detecting and treating cancer are developed and nurtured. And we are well on our way through our subsidiary, the Nuclear Technology Products, NTP.